Part 7. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 61. Chubai was taking a leisurely bath, brushing his teeth, when he was suddenly awakened by a low roar. "There's a tiger approaching." Su Menjiu became vigilant. "Shouldn't it?" Su Tao was stunned for a moment and said, "This is the territory of the mountain monarch. Under normal circumstances, tigers should not break in, right? So, it's not the general situation." Su Menjiu said in a deep voice. At the same time, Chubai pounced out. Before he could even wash the foam off his body, he appeared on the edge next to the vehicle, looking down on the surroundings. Su Menjiu is right. This is not a general situation. He has left marks around the territory, and tigers generally do not enter. Once inside, it means going to war. Whether the other tigers are for food or simply want to grab his territory, this conflict is inevitable. In a few moments, a figure approached. Chubai swept over, and 3 burly tigers came into view. It has to be said that the size is huge. One of them weighs about 280 kilograms, and the remaining 2 have at least 250 kilograms. But it's not as good as him. He is now 320 kilograms. It is larger than the largest tiger. Roar. Chubai opened his bloody mouth and roared at the 3-headed tiger. At the same time, tiger power launched. The 3 tigers immediately stopped, as if they had spotted some kind of flood beast. Even 2 of the tigers took a few steps back. Chubai stared at them like this, trying to make them retreat. Let's be honest. He didn't want a conflict with the tiger. There are about 20,000 lions in the entire reserve. There are only 100 tigers, and more than 20 have died so far. If you can. He didn't want to kill the tiger. The more tigers there are, the more attention the lion can attract, and the pressure on him is naturally reduced. But if these 3 tigers insist on breaking into the territory, then the battle will be inevitable. Roar. Roar dash. The 3-headed Goryeo tiger let out a low roar and continued to probe. Chubai was not afraid at all. He even took the initiative to walk over. He was huge, and he walked with a sense of oppression. The 3-headed Goryeo tiger roared and stepped back. "That's all. On both sides, you advance and I retreat." Chubai still maintained a deterrent effect. "That's it? That's all you call the Tiger King of Goryeo?" For a while, netizens in the live broadcast room were happy. Under the description of netizens in the universe, these 3 Goryeo Tiger Kings are already invincible. But now, this scene has slapped many people in the face. The mountain is still the Mountain King. Let's not talk about victory or defeat. With this deterrent, the Goryeo Tiger King was completely crushed. Don't underestimate the Goryeo tiger. Now it's just a temptation. Don't look at the Goryeo tiger retreating, but this is a plan to underestimate the enemy. The people of the universe can't think of an excuse, so they can only use stratagem to talk about things. AHH. Gaolahu still plays 36 tricks. Zi is not a tiger, and Zhu does not account for a plan. For a while, thousands of netizens quarreled in the live broadcast room. The netizens of the Universe Kingdom fought against the Confucianism, and they did not fall behind at all, and even faintly gained the upper hand. What is there to say? Don't you know if you get into a fight? Yes, you'll know when Gaolahu defeats the Mountain King. 3 tigers hit one, 2 of them dragged the Mountain King, and the other was enough to kill the Mountain King. It's worthy of the universe, and those who don't know think that the Goryeo tiger has penetrated the universe. The battle is on. Goryeo tiger didn't back down anymore. At this moment, thousands of netizens were boiling. See. This is the Tiger King of Goryeo. It was just a temptation, and now it's the real showdown. For a time, the people of the universe were boiling. On the grassland, 4 fierce tigers confronted each other. The three-headed Goryeo tiger no longer retreated, faintly forming a defensive triangle. And Chubai is still. He kept moving forward. The tiger's eyes are cold, and the domineering spirit leaks out. Everybody gets in the car. Su Menjiu gave an order, and the staff got into the car one after another. The battle of the 3 tigers is as dangerous as you can imagine. Sister Menjiu, Shanjun will be fine, right? Su Tao showed concern. I don't know. Su Menjiu shook her head. Shanjun is very powerful, but the other party is also a tiger. Yamakun will definitely win. After a while, Su Tao clenched her little fists. So far, it is unknown, and Shanjun has never lost. Roar dash. Chubai roared again. This is their last chance. If the 3 tigers do not retreat, the battle will break out immediately. Roar. The Goryeo tiger also roared. With a bang, Chubai had already rushed out. Even if it was a 3-headed tiger, he was not afraid at all and took the initiative to charge, and similarly, the 3-headed Goryeo tiger also hedged. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 62. Finally the war has begun. The mountain monarch has 1 enemy and 3 enemies, this is the Battle of Liwei. Only by repelling the 3 Goryeo tigers will it be able to occupy the small oasis forever. In the live broadcast room, netizens were boiling. It's a pity. The myth ends here. The netizens of the universe country are very confident. After all, this is more to fight less, and one of them is still the real Tiger King. Roar dash. In a deafening roar, the 4 tigers met. In an instant, all 4 tigers stood up. In the next second, the tiger's claws swung out. Bang. With a loud bang, the strongest Goryeo Tiger King was slapped to the ground by Chubai, with deep blood marks on his face and blinding one eyeball. Wow! The Tiger King of Goryeo let out a low roar. It shook its head, as if it didn't know what was going on. In the midst of the lightning, the other 2 Goryeo tigers tore through, but they were dodged by Chubai. Bang bang bang. After a while, the sound of a rapid heartbeat sounded. Lightning strike, on. Adrenaline, on. Chubai pounced, and the tiger's claws knocked a Goryeo tiger to the ground, and then turned to defend against another Goryeo tiger. With his strength, he was enough to defeat the 3-headed tiger. Even if you don't activate the skill. But he's a lone ranger, and he can't get hurt. Therefore, he chose to turn on the skill and crush the 3 heads and 3 tigers with absolute strength to ensure his absolute safety. In the midst of lightning, 3 tigers fought together. Huh, that's it? This is the Tiger King of Goryeo. Knocked to the ground by Shanjun with a slap. It doesn't seem to be as powerful as you say. Sure enough, how can the results blown out be compared with the records that have been fought again and again? For a while, netizens were happy. Don't panic, the battle has just begun. Our Goryeo Tiger King should not know that the speed of the Mountain King is very fast, so he accidentally got hit. Now is the real battle. The people of the universe did not panic at all, after all, it was a 3-headed Goryeo tiger. With more and less, it is impossible to lose. With a burst of roars, everyone stopped discussing and stared intently at the screen. It's fierce. This is the battle of the beasts. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens were shocked. The battle of the 4-headed tiger is like a human fist to the flesh. No, it's fist to flesh and brutal. When the tiger's claws are drawn, it must be drenched in blood. It was the most primitive battle, and it was the first time that everyone had seen such a violent scene. Violent muscle lines. A deafening war cry. Razor-sharp claws. Every hit is fatal. When it was bloody, Even the program team urgently replaced the red blood with green to avoid the live broadcast room being blocked. This shows the intensity of this battle. Nima, it's so shocking. It's the most ferocious animal on the surface. Thousands of netizens swallowed their saliva, and the violent images made their pupils constrict. Tigers and lions aren't the biggest animals on the planet, but they're the most ferocious when they fight. Tiger claw. Fangs. Wallop. It's all become weapons. Everyone couldn't help but hold their breath. Roars and collisions are intertwined to form a brutal picture. This scene was extremely shocking. It was the first time that people had observed such a primitive and violent battle at such a close distance. Wait. Something doesn't seem right. At this moment, some netizens came back to their senses. Shocked by the violent and ferocious battle, they ignored one fact. That is, Shanjun doesn't seem to be hurt. The fierce battle has been fought so far, and the three Goryeo tigers are covered with blood. Even the flesh and skin of the deepest wound were turned open, and the bones inside could be clearly seen. But the Mountain King is still unharmed. It is extremely fast, and every time it faces the most ferocious attack of the Goryeo tiger, it can always dodge it closely. In this way, it seems that Shanjun is very dangerous. It looks like he's in danger every time. Actually, Shanjun was not injured. Until now, there are no scars on Shanjun's body. The battle was too fast to see clearly. At a cursory glance, Shanjun's situation is indeed very dangerous, but if you look closely, Shanjun can dodge attacks every time, so it looks scarred, but in fact he is not injured. How is that possible? The people of the universe are very disdainful. How can the naked eye see at such a high speed? What I see is that the Mountain King is no longer good. That's right, he's dead. At this moment, Western netizens and netizens of the universe country stood on the same front. Wait. Shanjun doesn't seem to be injured. At this moment, netizens looked carefully and could still see a little bit of the situation. However, not much. Sankan's movement is too fast. Drones capture such footage, and it is really impossible to see the whole picture. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 63. Shanjun doesn't seem to be injured. As Su Menjiao controlled more drone tracking and shooting, and even shot at close range in the car, the picture finally became much clearer. On the interface of the live broadcast room, several small interfaces immediately popped up. Such a clear picture. The crowd discovered this fact. Although the battle was violent, Shanjun was indeed not injured. Wouldn't it? That's an exaggeration. So far, Shanjun has not been injured at all. How did Shanjun do it? For a while, netizens were shocked. Shanjun's combat power is very strong, and everyone knows it very well. However, the opponent is also a tiger. As a fierce beast of the same level, no matter how strong the mountain monarch's combat power is, it won't be uninjured at all, right? And it's 1 against 3, which is outrageous. Impossible. It must have been a drone that didn't catch it. With the combat power of the Goryeo Tiger King, leading 2 fierce tigers to besiege, the mountain monarch is invincible with 2 fists and 4 hands, how can he not be injured? The people of the universe panicked and explained wildly. Hurt to the next second. What they care about is the issue of combat power. If Shanjun is really not injured, doesn't it mean that the 3 Goryeo tigers are not Shanjun's opponents? This is unacceptable to them. Soon, they panicked even more. As they looked closely, it seemed that Shanjun was really not injured. In the live broadcast room, the host Lisabelle smiled and said, "Professor, Mr. Fat Tiger, as an expert, Can you analyze the winner or loser now? About 4 or 6. Professor Kupil said lightly. Who's 4, who's 6? Lisabelle continued. Professor Kupil continued, the 4 mountain kings, the 3 Goraio tigers 6. Impossible, right? Lisabelle was a little surprised. This time, she was embarrassed to open her eyes and tell lies, and then said, Professor, according to the current situation, it should be Shan Junlu, and it is not injured. It's not about getting hurt. Professor Kupil shrugged. What does that have to do with that? Lisabelle asked curiously. It's about fitness. Professor Kupil said, the reason why Shanjun was not injured is nothing more than 2 situations. One is that the drone cannot catch it. Second, Sanjun is too fast, and he uses high movement to ensure his own safety. Everyone knows that the speed of the mountain monarch is very fast. Is there a difference between the two? Asked Lisabelle again. There is no difference. As I said, the outcome of this battle is a matter of fitness. You see, when the mountain king dodges an attack, or takes the initiative to attack, he moves about 2/3 more than the 3 Goraio tigers. Although Shanjun is powerful, it always only has a pair of claws and a bunch of fangs, so it must make a lot of movements to ensure that it does not get hurt, which also causes Shanjun's physical consumption to be at least 3 times more than that of the 3 Goraio tigers. I see. Lisabelle nodded yes. Professor Kupil added, after such a long time, if the mountain lord can't end the battle quickly, the longer it drags on, the lower its chances of winning. Haha, even the professor said that. The Tiger King of Goraio will win. For a while, the people of the universe became excited. Mr. Fat Tiger, what do you think? Lisabelle turned her head and looked at Sun Wei. The professor is right. Sun Wei nodded yes. But, he added, the big data analyzed by the professor is a general situation, but everyone asks themselves, is Shanjun an ordinary tiger? To be honest, Shanjun is the most special tiger I've ever seen. So, I don't agree with the professor's claim of winning rate. When thousands of netizens discussed, the Battle of the Beasts had reached its most intense moment. Chu Bai is extremely fast. It's like a flash of yellow lightning. He moved left and right, and the wind was galloping. The 3-headed Goraio tiger is indeed ferocious, but it's a pity. In the face of sheer speed and power, their attacks are useless. Roar. With a roar, Chu Bai pounced again. With a bang, a Korean tiger was slapped to the ground, and its fangs were knocked out. In the next second, 2 Goraio tigers attacked from behind. Chu Bai immediately turned around. A war cry was deafening. In the flash of light, Meow Meow punched out like a storm. Although Goraio tiger can also meow fists, the speed of his claws is far less than his. In just a moment, the flesh and blood of the 2 Goraio tigers are blurred. There were countless scratches on the skull, and the bones seemed to be cracked. In an instant, Chu Bai pounced. Click. A crisp voice sounded. Chu Bai bit Gao Lihu's neck, and his fragile throat didn't last a second under the terrible bite force, and he was killed in an instant. Roar dash. Seeing this, the other 2 Goraio tigers were furious. They let out a roar and rushed towards Chu Bai. Roar. Chu Bai turned his head and roared. The battle cry was deafening. It was a roar of thunder, and a terrible shockwave swept out. Bang bang. The 2 Goraio tigers were only a few centimeters away from Chu Bai, their claws had already touched Chu Bai's hair, and their fangs had touched their skin, but they were instantly shocked by the terrifying shockwave and flew out 5 or 6 meters away, and the eyes of one of the Goraio tigers burst with blood. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 64. On the steppe. The tiger stands majestic. It also has a tiger in its mouth. As for the remaining two Goryeo tigers, they had already been shaken out and rolled in the dust and smoke. This scene is extremely shocking. Su Menjiu held the camera, and the whole person was stunned. The battle ended quickly. Obviously, 1 second it was still in a ferocious and fierce battle, and the next second it was inexplicably over. It's not the end of it, though. But Shanjun did achieve an absolute advantage. At the same time, the live broadcast room. I still agree with what the professor said. Indeed, it is already very powerful to fight in such a situation with one enemy and three enemies. To be honest, I'm optimistic about Mr. Fat Tiger. He's right, Shanjun is special and can't be analyzed with conventional big data. Wait. The battle is over. At this moment, thousands of netizens were stunned. They were still talking 1 second, and the next second the battle was over. It's abrupt. None of them reacted. It's like watching a war movie, when it's just at its peak, and suddenly, the progress bar suddenly reaches the end, which is dumbfounded. How did Shanjun win? It's impossible, is it? For a while, the barrage flew up, and a large question mark appeared. Shanjun is awesome. It's worthy of the Tiger King. After a while, cheers rang out. No way. Absolutely impossible. At the same time, the people of the universe could not believe it. How is this possible? The three-headed Goryeo tiger was defeated in an instant? In the live broadcast room, Lisabelle was stunned and asked, "Professor, Mr. Fat Tiger, what's going on?" Professor Kupil was stunned. He had just finished analyzing it, and the battle was over? With a smile on the corner of his mouth, Sun Wei said, "This is already obvious, the combat power of the mountain monarch can easily crush the super Jali tiger, and it has the strength to end the battle in an instant. This is the Tiger King. It deserves the name." For a while, thousands of netizens discussed. After this battle, I am afraid that the mountain monarch will be famous again. It's weird. Those two Goryeo tigers flew out just now, what's the situation? Soon, some netizens noticed the abnormality. When Sanjun bit one of the Goryeo tigers to death, the other two Goryeo tigers also launched a fierce attack. But just as the battle was about to enter its peak, the two Goryeo tigers were shocked and flew out. The last time the hyenas were fighting. This strange situation has also occurred. It's a matter of speed, right? If you look closely, Shanjun's meow punch hits an afterimage, indicating that its speed is extremely fast. Is it possible that at that moment, Shanjun slapped the two Goryeo tigers away? That's how it should be. Everyone knows the speed of the Mountain King. After a while, the crowd stopped paying attention to the issue. The battle isn't over yet. We also have two Korean tigers. Netizens in the universe country refused to admit defeat and shouted one after another. Shanjun is tired now, and this is the opportunity. Although the Tiger King of Goryeo is blind in one eye, he has not broken his muscles and bones, and the battle is not over yet. It's really stubborn. Netizens were happy and chattered one after another. Chu Bai threw the dead Gaolahu to the ground and turned his head to look at it. Roar! The two Goryeo tigers roared. They paced back and forth, clearly afraid. Chu Bai continued to approach. It's oppressive. The next second, he burst out. Roar! With a low roar, the two Goryeo tigers made opposite decisions. One Goryeo tiger rushed towards Chu Bai, and the one-eyed Tiger King turned and ran. There was no hesitation. And so it left its companions. Chu Bai jumped up and killed Gaolahu in the air. By the time he looked ahead, the one-eyed Tiger King had slipped into the bushes and disappeared. That's it? Didn't you say that the battle wasn't over? Is this 36 schemes? In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens were happy. The netizens of the universe country were silent, and the facts were in front of them. Stay in the Green Mountains, Don't worry about no firewood. It was the Tiger King who fled, and if he had the chance, he would be able to take revenge. Chubai returned to the car and continued to wash, as if what had just happened was not worth mentioning. These three tigers are indeed very powerful, but they are far from his opponents. If it's a five-headed tiger, maybe it could be a threat to him. After a while, the system sound sounded. Hint, you killed 2 Goryeo tigers. Hint, you gain 6,000 flesh essence. Hint, do you use critical hit cards? Only 6,000 flesh and blood essences. Chubai did not use the crit card, and after the washing was over, he returned to the territory leisurely. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 65. Next. In the early morning, the dawn wakes up the grassland. Chubai was still practicing meow boxing, and the battle with the three-headed Goryeo tiger convinced him even more that his tiger claws could exert a lot of power. Since you can't get the skills for the time being, let's develop new powers on your own. This is followed by washing. When he was done, he toured the territory. When I came back again, it was already noon. Chubai walked in the bushes with a leisurely pace, and there were countless animals in his field of vision. Rhinoceros, hippos, crocodiles, oryx. 5-flowered horsegate. This is the advantage of a large territory, and the dishes are very rich. After a while, Chubai saw the elephant. He was immediately interested. Compared to rhinoceros, an animal of this size should have a fairly high chance of getting a simulation card. His current physique has reached its peak state, and he can break through with only 4 million flesh and blood essences. 4 million. Not much. So, he had to get one more analog card. After a while, Chubai locked onto the target. An adult elephant. It is about 3 meters tall at the shoulder and weighs an estimated 6 or 7 tons. Even though Chubai is now huge, he still looks like a child in front of this adult elephant. But he was not afraid. He has a terrifying palm strike power and a bite force far beyond that of a normal tiger. Plus speed. He has a chance to succeed. In simulations, he had such an experience. So, he's ready to give it a try. Even if he didn't succeed, it wouldn't affect him much, and he could leave the battlefield at any time. Gradually, Chubai approached the elephant. Sister Menjiao, what is Shanjun going to do? Not far away, Su Menjiao and the others were dumbfounded. Shanjun won't do anything to this big guy, right? Su Tao opened her mouth wide. Despite the strength of the Mountain King, the tiger and the elephant are no match for each other at all. It's crazy. The other staff members looked at each other. What's the situation? The Mountain Lord wants to hunt elephants. At the same time, thousands of netizens were also shocked. It's an elephant. Weigh at least 7 or 8 tons. In this savanna, it is generally believed that the lion is the overlord. But it's not. Elephants are the top of the pack. Aside from humans, the harsh environment, there is little that threatens the survival of elephants. It's just looking for death. Even lions don't dare to hunt elephants. The Mountain Lord is completely unaware of the situation. It seems that the victory during this period of time has made it dizzy, and it does not understand the horror of the elephant. For a while, Western netizens ridiculed one after another. This is self-defeating. And it's self-defeating. In the live broadcast room, the host Lisabelle looked left and right and asked, Professor Kupil, it looks like the Mountain Lord is going to hunt elephants. You have worked in the reserve for many years. Have you seen the record of this? Do you think the Mountain Lord will succeed? It's all about looking for death. Professor Kupil showed no mercy. He sneered and said, everyone thinks that the lion is the overlord of the grassland, but in fact, it is the elephant that stands at the top of the food chain, and the elephant is the real overlord. In other words, the Mountain King will fail? Asked Lisabelle. Not a failure. Shanjun is asking for his own death. With a sneer on his lips, Professor Kupil continued, you know, even lions don't dare to provoke elephants. Is there no precedent? Asked Lisabelle. There is a precedent so that there is. Oh, said Lisabelle. I once watched a group of hungry lions hunt an underage baby elephant, mind you, an underage baby elephant, the equivalent of a human child aged 7-8 years, Professor Kupil said. The lions take turns jumping on the back of the baby elephant and attacking with their claws and teeth, while a few lions bite the baby elephant's hind legs. Even so, the lions were unable to knock down the baby elephant and managed to get the baby out of danger, which shows that it is already difficult for the lion pack to kill the juvenile elephant, let alone the adult elephant. I see. Lisabelle nodded slightly. After the professor's analysis, netizens probably understand the danger. The lions have failed to hunt even the baby elephants, let alone the adult elephants. So, Shanjun is completely looking for death. Newborn tigers are not afraid of elephants. I almost laughed to death. Western netizens seized the opportunity and ridiculed wildly, and even the people of the universe joined in. And most were silent. Yes, elephants are indeed the overlords of the steppe. Even people who don't know anything about animals know the size of elephants, and they are giant tanks. There is basically nothing alive on land other than humans that threatens elephants. But now, the mountain lord is going to hunt elephants. That's a feat. Still not self-sufficient? For a while, everyone became worried. What are you afraid of? Shanjun has the initiative, even if he fails, it's a big deal to evacuate, and the elephant can't catch up with Shanjun. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 66. Under the watchful eye, Chubai was already close to an adult elephant. He's still lurking. Wait for the best moment to come. The elephant not far away did not know that the most terrible Grim Reaper was hidden in the bushes. Soon, the time came. Without the slightest hesitation, Chubai rushed out. Bang bang. In an instant, a rapid heartbeat sounded. Lightning strike, on. Adrenaline, on. The elephant heard the movement and turned his head when a fierce beast swooped in his vision. Puff. In the next second, blood splattered. Chubai's bouncing power was amazing, and he landed on the elephant's back at once, and his sharp claws slashed out like a storm. The thick skin couldn't stop this sharp weapon in the slightest. In just a moment, the elephant was bloodied. Moo. The elephant let out a loud roar and twisted its body violently, but it could not shake off Chubai. Sister Menjiao, Shanjun is crazy, right? On the vehicle not far away, Sutao and the others were dumbfounded. Shanjun is really on? The target is an elephant of nearly 7 or 8 tons. Such a behemoth is as huge as their filming vehicle. Shanjun is really on it. Is it dead or crazy? At the same time, thousands of netizens in the live broadcast room also had the same questions. This scene is so shocking. In front of the elephant, the Mountain King is like a child. Such a comparison of body types is incomparable, not even at the same level. There is no doubt that the Mountain King is crazy. This is the real overlord of the steppe. But you can't blame Shanjun, after all, it may have never seen an elephant and doesn't know the deterrent power of this big guy. For a while, Western netizens ridiculed. It's self-defeating. The people of the universe are angry. Obviously, the defeat of the Goryeo tiger made them black fans of Shanjun. This battle is different from what everyone imagined. There are no violent scenes, no fierce fighting, only constant confrontation. Elephants are too big. Although the claws of the mountain lord are sharp, they can only leave scars on the elephant's body. And such an injury is not a fatal injury. Moo! The elephant howled. It lunged forward, trying to shake Chu-Bai off with the help of the impact force, but it was clear that it had failed. Brush! Blood splatter! Chu-Bai waved his claws, leaving a bloody mark on the elephant's neck. Elephants are in pain. Shake your body violently. But Chu-Bai was like a dogskin plaster, sticking to the back of the elephant and not moving. In the next second, Chu-Bai hugged the elephant's neck. His claws had already reached out. Cut your throat. Hit the snake and hit the 7 inches. Chu-Bai knew how to kill elephants. This behemoth also seemed to have a premonition of the coming crisis, and ran wildly, so that Chu-Bai had to fix his body tightly, and he didn't have a chance to start for a while. Bang! The next second, the elephant slammed into the tree. The leaves are falling, and inertia is coming. Chu-Bai's body was fixed backwards, and this inertia directly shook him out. Boom! In a few moments, the elephant came galloping. Moo! In the next second, this behemoth raised its front body and stepped heavily on Chu-Bai with both feet. This thrilling scene made thousands of netizens sweat. See? Shanjun is humiliating himself. How can a tiger be an opponent of an elephant despite its ferocity? Not to mention whether it can break through the thick defenses of the elephant. With this size, how can it mouth? For a while, Western netizens became excited. Netizens from the Universe Kingdom echoed on the side, but everyone did not refute it. No way. Elephants are indeed huge. Although they believe in the strength of the mountain monarch, in the face of this behemoth, where should the mountain monarch start? Meanwhile, the battle continues. At the last moment, Chu-Bai dodged the elephant's trampling. This big guy is so bulky. There was no chance of attacking him. This is one of the reasons why he hunts elephants, aside from the simulation cards. Compared to larger elephants, he's very flexible. He can attack at any time, and he can withdraw from the battlefield at any time. The initiative is his. He has no worries. The elephant was clearly enraged and continued to attack. Bang bang bang. The earth trembled under the madness. In the billowing dust and smoke, Chu-Bai slammed out. He kicked on all fours, then leaped to his feet and landed on the elephant's back again. I'll bleed you first. The corners of Chu-Bai's mouth hooked. In the next second, meow meow fist swung out like a storm. Lightning fast speeds. Splashes of blood. After his training during this time, the number of meow punches has increased significantly, and he can punch 7 or 8 punches in 1 second. If he faced a beast of the same level, he could beat his opponent in a second. Soon, the elephant's back was covered with blood. That's a bit of an exaggeration. This meow meow is really outrageous. If it's a lion, I'm afraid I'll be stunned in an instant. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens shook their heads at the same time. Although they didn't think that the mountain lord would be able to successfully hunt elephants, in the case of this meowth boxing, the speed was indeed ridiculously fast. So what? This attack is not deadly. With the defense of an elephant, such an attack is just tickling. Western netizens continued to belittle, and netizens in the universe country added fuel and vinegar to the side. It's too much. To be honest, Shanjun is still quite powerful. Although I'm not a fan of Shanjun, but a wave of rational analysis, can an ordinary tiger achieve such a record? Even a lion doesn't dare to provoke an elephant. And Shanjun not only has the courage to hunt, but also beats elephants like this. I think it's already perfect. Out of 100 points, I give Shanjun 99 points. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 67. On the grassland, a huge elephant is running for its life, with an equally sturdy tiger lying on its back. It's an unimaginable scene, and it's very shocking. Even by tigers hunt elephants. That's outrageous. God, what kind of tiger is this? Not far away, some tourists were shocked. As a protected area, it is a paradise for tourists who love the animal world. I know it. It's the Tiger King, a ferocious tiger. On the vehicle, a blonde and blue-eyed young girl said again and again, I have watched the live broadcast, and Shanjun has many fans. Boom. In the next second, the elephant was galloping towards the vehicle. The tourists panicked. The elephant was too big. If you hit a vehicle, it will definitely be ruined. Roar. After a while, a roar sounded. The sound was deafening, and countless tourists hurriedly covered their ears, even revealing a trace of pain. Is this an explosion? My eardrums are bursting. Tourists fled in droves, driving their vehicles away from the fighting. At the same time, elephants are also affected by sound. It howled, staggered, and nearly fell to the ground. Roar. Chubai roared again. It was a roar of thunder that shook the elephant's head buzzing. Boom. In the next second, the elephant fell to the ground with a bang. The terrifying shockwave of such a close roar had already shattered the elephant's head. Fortunately, this big guy has rough skin and thick meat. For a normal creature, these two roars would be enough to render it unconscious for a short time. Chubai grinned. Two thunderous roars in a row, his mouth was numb. What's the situation? The elephant actually fell. In the live broadcast room, everyone was very surprised. This was a battle without suspense, and it was impossible for the mountain monarch to succeed. But now the elephant has fallen. The situation seems to have taken a turn for the worse. You know, elephant falls are a very dangerous thing. As soon as wishful thinking comes, the tiger has the opportunity to lock its throat directly. Is there really hope? For a while, everyone couldn't help but look forward to it. Especially the fans of Yamakun. If the mountain monarch can really hunt elephants alone, this is probably the first time in the world. Hee hee. It was just an accident. The elephant must have accidentally tripped over a stone on the road. Western netizens are reluctant to admit that it was Shanjun who brought down the elephant, and the people of the universe are also inexplicably nervous. There is no doubt about it. They all want the Mountain King to fail. Moo. The elephant howled and got up, but Chubai wouldn't give it a chance. In an instant, he rushed forward. Target, lock throat. The elephant naturally knew Chubai's purpose, and it waved its trunk, but Chubai easily dodged the elephant's trunk, and then directly locked his throat. Puff. Sharp fangs pierced into the flesh. Chubai's bite force was terrifying, easily shattering the elephant's defenses. Moo. The elephant struggled frantically to his feet. Chubai landed on the ground, jumped up, and landed on the elephant's back again. And then, Tiger Claw poked down. With a sharp tiger claw, the elephant's neck appeared bloody. It's an elephant. Chubai sighed with emotion. If it was a creature like a lion, it would have been killed by a choke lock a long time ago. But elephants are still too meaty. Such an injury is only slightly more serious for an elephant and is not considered fatal. Bang bang bang. The sound of a pounding heartbeat sounded. Chubai's body temperature was getting higher and higher, and he had to end the battle quickly. Immediately, Meow Meow Fist attacked like a raging storm. This is the Imperial engine. It's the first time I've heard it up close. In the car not far away, the blonde girl became excited. Anyone who has watched the live broadcast knows that netizens claim Shanjun's heartbeat as the Imperial engine. Listening so closely. It's shocking. It seems to be the sound of a cat when it is happy. But it is even stronger, like a war drum beating bang bang. Time passes. The elephant's injuries are getting worse. Although Chubai was unable to deliver a fatal blow, the massive amount of bleeding made the giant elephant extremely weak. Death, it's only a matter of time. Wouldn't it? It's outrageous. Shanjun is really going to succeed. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens opened their mouths wide. Elephants have a lot of scars. Blood has stained the surrounding land. To make matters worse, the elephant's resistance is getting weaker. At this rate, sooner or later, the elephant will be consumed by the mountain monarch. Not to mention, it's really possible. Nima, that's an exaggeration. To be honest, it's the first time I've seen a beast dare to hunt an elephant alone, and the key is that there is a chance of success. As long as it succeeds, Shanjun is estimated to be famous. Be confident, get rid of the estimates. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 68. Moo. With a loud sound, the elephant gradually lost its strength. Boom. With a loud bang, the elephant fell to the ground. Everyone was shocked. Shanjun really succeeded. Hunting an adult elephant alone is the first time humans have ever witnessed it. Did someone slap me? I'm not dreaming, am I? 6 or 7 tons of elephants, hunted. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens were collectively shocked. Professor Kapil looked incredulous and said, "To be honest, it's the first time I've seen such a tiger and actually consume an elephant alive. It's outrageous." Lisabelle nodded as well. What's there to brag about? Elephants are bleeding to death. Facts aside, the mountain monarch simply can't break through the elephant's defenses. Facts aside, what else is there to talk about? Netizens were happy and didn't explain anything to these people. The facts are in front of you. But they pretended not to see. Or rather, they've gone mad. Another crazy one. Carry it away. Chu Bai lay next to him. Now he is not in a hurry. If there are no accidents, the elephant is dead. Sure enough, a moment later, the sound of the system sounded. Hint, you have killed the elephant. Devouring talent takes effect, you gain 15,000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. Hint, in this extreme battle, your claws have made great achievements to tear through the elephant's defenses, and with the help of the system, your claws will be optimized. Hint, you have optimized a new skill, Claw Knife, forelimbs, passive. Claw Knife, passive. The claws of your forelimbs will be sharper and harder, enough to inflict fatal injuries on your prey. Side effect, thirst for blood. Effect introduction, your claw knife grows many tiny barbs, and when you scratch an enemy, the wound will be torn apart, causing the bleeding to flow non-stop. Hint, skills have been optimized. Hint, your forelimbs are currently unable to adapt to the tremendous force of the claw blade, and the evolution simulator has been urgently modified and optimized. Hint, your forelimbs are strengthened to accommodate the forces of the claw blade. Hint, do you use critical hit cards? Hint, do you want to extract? Extraction. Chu Bai didn't hesitate. In the next second, cool energy poured into the body. This strange energy flowed down the bloodstream, gradually to his forelimbs. Suddenly, the itching sensation came. Chu Bai could clearly feel that every inch of the muscles in his forelimbs had been strengthened. After a while, the stinging sensation hit. Chu Bai looked down and saw the claws slowly extending out. The length has increased. The hardness has increased. The sharpness has also increased. Very good. Chu Bai hooked the corners of his mouth. It's all a clawed knife that can easily slit the neck of any creature. There is no doubt about it. This skill is very powerful. It is also the deadliest weapon. Extreme combat. After a while, Chu Bai noticed the details. Like the last time you got Thunder Roar, both skills are earned in extreme combat. That is to say, He might also be able to gain skills. As long as you continue to fight to the limit, in addition to skills, even genes will be optimized. He was given a claw knife, and even his forelimbs were strengthened by the way. Strengthening. Chu Bai was suddenly stunned. His mind moved, and the data panel appeared in view. Name, Chu Bai. Race, South China Tiger. Combat Power Evaluation, Intermediate Tiger King, 96 million/100 million. Talent, Devour, Devour Flesh. Talent, Heart of the Tiger King, the tiger defeated by you will be in awe of you and have a tendency to surrender. Skill, Tiger Might, Deterrence, Intimidation. Skill, Lightning Strike. Skill, Adrenaline. Skill, Claw Knife, Passive. Weight, 325 kilograms, your weight will directly affect all your data. Palm Power, 2,600 kilograms. Bite Force, 960 kilograms. Speed, 44 m/s. Lifespan, 30 years. Analog card, 1. Critical hit card, 1. And so it was. Chu Bai's pupils constricted. His palm power has increased from 1,450 kilograms to 2,600 kilograms at once. 2.6 tons of power. It's terrifying. With one palm, I am afraid that he can easily slap an adult man to death. Even if it is a beast such as a lion, it is estimated that a slap will turn the world around, and the eyes will be full of gold stars. Plus a sharp claw knife. He seems to be invincible alone? Start the simulation. Immediately, Chu Bai simulated the consumption of the card. If nothing else, this analog card should allow him to break through. With the terrifying power of the palm, the claw blade, and the evolution, he felt capable of overturning the Lion Alliance. Simulation begins. Your current status, Intermediate Tiger King. Day 1, you hunt a rhinoceros, and your claw knife makes a great achievement, and you will kill it by dividing it by 2. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 2,000 flesh units. Day 2, you hunt elephants, success. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh units. Sure enough. The corners of Chu Bai's mouth hooked. This claw knife doesn't look like a thunderbolt roar, but it has the effect of a fatal blow. You know, a knife is enough to kill. Immediately, he continued to watch. Day 3, a strong Siberian tiger arrives, you easily defeat it, and subdue the Siberian Tiger King, turn it into your vassal, and guard the frontier. Day 4, nothing happens. Day 5, you have become a national star. Day 6, your strength has finally caught the attention of the strongest creature on the surface, humans. Day 7, you hunt elephants again, and you succeed. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 60,000 flesh units. Day 8, nothing happens. It's still this far. Chu Bai muttered to himself, and couldn't help but have a lot of thoughts. There is no doubt that no matter how strong he is no match for firearms. If humans were to interfere with the process of the reserve, he might have to run away. I only hope that this evolution can bring him the strength to protect himself. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 69. Chu Bai was well aware that his strength had affected the ecological balance of the reserve. In order to maintain the balance, protected areas will certainly take precautions. This simulation gives a hint, humans will interfere. But he can't help it, this is a world of natural selection, survival of the fittest dash. If he wants to survive, he has to fight. Once he fights, his strength will be known. It's a vicious circle. But Chu Bai couldn't avoid it. Only soldiers can come to block, and water can cover the earth. Day 9, an alliance of 6 wandering lions arrives at the little oasis. You intimidate the lions, but they do not retreat. You turn on your skills and kill 6 lions with 1 enemy 6. Note, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 18,000 flesh units. Day 10, your prestige shakes the grasslands. Day 11, you killed an antelope. Day 12, nothing happens. Chu Bai's face was expressionless. The appearance of the claw knife allowed him to obtain a deadly weapon. If you don't have this skill, he may only be able to drive out 6 male lions, but now he can strike deadly at any time. This is also a qualitative change. 6 male lions, this shows that my current combat strength is enough to match the Lion King alliance. Chu Bai muttered to himself, and then continued to watch the information. Number 14, your fame has spread all over the world and has been noticed by countless people. Day 15, nothing happens. Day 16, that night, a team of poachers enters your territory and you kill 2 people in the face of heavily armed humans, but you are also wounded and have no choice but to flee. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 4,000 flesh units. Day 17, a day of recuperation. Day 18, you are spotted by poachers again. You start a lightning strike, killing 3 people. These people seem to want to capture you alive. You have to flee. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh units. Day 19, nothing happens. Day 20, in a desperate situation, your injuries have recovered beyond imagination, and with the help of the evolution simulator, you have gained a new ability, self-healing. Self-healing, your injuries will be repaired as quickly as you imagined. Chu Bai's eyes lit up. It's a life-saving skill. As a lone ranger, what he fears most is injury. But with this skill, he had no worries. Although self-healing is not a combat skill compared to other skills, he prefers this ability. There is no doubt that this will greatly increase his endurance. The only thing that isn't certain is, I don't know how effective the self-healing is. Day 21, your injuries are gradually recovering. Day 22, the poachers find you again, and you go into a great battle, and with ghostly speed, you kill 5 people. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh units. Number 23, day, nothing happens. Number 24, self-healing takes effect, and you are alive again. Day 25, you engage in a tug of war with the poachers. Day 26, heaven, with your ability to heal, you have caused great damage to the poacher team. Day 27, finally, the poachers know that they can't capture you alive and decide to kill you. You fight back and destroy the poachers, and at the last moment, you are killed by a grenade. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 20,000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 3 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 3 crit card. End of simulation. This simulation you get 68,000 flesh essence, crit card add 3, simulation card add 3, do you use crit card? Use critical hit cards. Chu Bai said in his heart. Hint, you use critical hit cards. Hint, flesh essence reaches super perfect crit x 199, for a total of 13.5 million flesh essence. Hint, analog card crit x2, a total of 6 cards. Hint, crit card crit x2, 6 cards in total. Hint, whether to extract or not. Extraction. Chu Bai took a deep breath. The time for a breakthrough has finally arrived. Once he breaks through, he has the strength to defeat the Lion King alliance. From now on, as long as there are not dozens of male lions, he basically doesn't need to worry. Dozens of male lions. There is no such alliance in this step. In an instant, a huge amount of energy poured into the body. This energy is constantly refining every inch of his muscles, even his bones. After a while, the system sounded. Hint, you have broken through the limits of the South China tiger, and you have begun to evolve. Hint, gene optimization. Hint, genetic optimization is complete, and you activate the bloodline of the ancient saber-toothed tiger. Hint, you get a boost. Hint, the saber-toothed tiger gene takes effect, and you gain physical strengthening, strength enhancement, and fangs enhancement. Hint, the South China tiger gene is in effect, and the speed defect has been erased. With genetic changes, Chu Bai felt that his body was also undergoing qualitative changes. First of all, his body, his muscles were wriggling, they were expanding. The most important thing is the fangs. The fangs on the roof of his jaw slowly extended. Although not as exaggerated as the saber-toothed tiger, it is full of terrifying lethality. Chu Bai grinned. These fangs are just right. It is not as exaggerated as a saber-toothed tiger, and it can easily bite the arteries of living beings. Of course, the most important thing is speed. The reason why the saber-toothed tiger was eliminated was not because it was weak. The most important reason. It's that it doesn't adapt to the environment that comes after. The era when the saber-toothed tiger survived was probably the Quaternary Glacial period. The climate was cold, and the large herbivores relied on long fur and thick skin to withstand the harsh winters. They are slow, clumsy. It is extremely easy to be hunted and killed. So the saber-toothed tiger lives very nourishingly. But 20,000 years ago, the Ice Age ended. As the climate warms suddenly, those large herbivores that tolerate cold cannot adapt to climate changes and have to migrate north. However, there was not enough grassland in the Arctic Circle, so they died of starvation. That's it. Saber-toothed tigers have lost their food supply. By the time they try to come back to killing small animals, their bodies are completely shaped like dinosaurs. He is not agile enough, and he has no speed to run. So the saber-toothed tiger was in a difficult situation. Soon, the saber-toothed tiger encounters the most formidable enemy, humans. The ancestors of mankind invented the bow and arrow, and used fire to attack, which was infinitely powerful. Even the saber-toothed tiger became prey. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. It is no exaggeration to say that with the extinction of large pachyderms, nature has ruthlessly eliminated the saber-toothed tiger. The biggest drawback is that it's too slow. But this evolution erased the flaws in terms of speed, allowing Chu Bai to inherit all the advantages. There is no doubt that his strength has changed qualitatively. Chu Bai's heart moved, and the data panel appeared in the field of vision. Name, Chu Bai. Race, South China tiger, saber-toothed tiger gene. Combat power evaluation, Super Tiger King, 9.5 million/1 billion. Talent, devour flesh. Talent, self-healing. Talent, heart of the Tiger King, the tiger defeated by you will be in awe of you and have a tendency to surrender. Skill, tiger might, deterrence, intimidation. Skill, lightning strike. Skill, adrenaline. Skill, claw knife, passive. Weight, 380 kilograms, your weight will directly affect all your data. Palm power, 4,800 kilograms. Bite force, 1,500 kilograms. Speed, 44/second. Lifespan, 50 years. Analog card, 6. Critical hit card, 6. Glancing at the data, Chu Bai was suddenly shocked. His weight has increased by nearly 60 kilograms, 120 pounds. Suffice it to say, his body swelled again. In particular, the power of the palm blow doubled again to 4,800 kilograms, which is almost 5 tons. What is this concept? This means that there is an explosive injury to the forelimb. With a slap on his face, a human skull will explode as easily as a watermelon. The increase in bite force is also extremely exaggerated. 1500 kg. You know, the animal with the strongest bite on the planet is the hippopotamus, which has a bite force of about 2000 kilograms. Now he has reached 1500 kilograms. With the exception of hippos, few creatures can compare to him. Good. Chubai was very satisfied. No surprises, he was almost invincible. As long as it is not more than 30 male lions, it is almost impossible to threaten his survival. Except, of course, for humans. Since it was impossible to have an alliance of more than 30 male lions, he was invincible except for humans. With the steps of not recognizing his 6 relatives, Chubai returned to the territory. Don't want food. That's an elephant. For a while, the live broadcast room was lively. I don't want elephant meat, can I go pick up ivory? Brother, this is very practicing. Wait. Am I hallucinating, and I always feel like the mountain has gotten bigger again. I also feel bigger. I guess it's an illusion. You know, if you get along for a long time, you won't notice it even when you grow up. Back in the reserve, Chubai took a cold shower. Good news. The merchandise is out of stock. Chubai lay in the shade of the tree, and then heard the excited voices of Su Menjiao and the others. He walked slowly. Immediately knew what was going on. It turned out that the program team commercialized him, and the peripherals were sold out of stock. Chubai couldn't cry or laugh. Is that okay? Capital is everywhere. We had to design a new perimeter. Su Menjiao looked at the photos, which were taken by Chubai when he was hunting elephants, and each one was full of shock. As soon as the hunting elephants come out, you can't go crazy and collect millions. Su Tao looked at Chubai enviously. It's small. It's smaller. Su Menjiao shook her head with a smile. There are currently 3 around Shanjun. First, the scene of fighting against the 3-headed Goryeo tiger. Second, fight against giant crocodiles. Third, fight against hyenas. There is no doubt that all 3 merchandise sold for tens of millions of dollars. What is this? Su Tao asked, pointing to the drink picture. Su Menjiao smiled and said, the program team cooperated with a famous sports drink brand to design, Shanjun sports drink. Is this okay? Su Tao was stunned. What is this? Su Menjiao opened a series of materials and said, the program team also launched the Shanjun brand dog food and Shanjun brand cat food project. Su Tao was dumbfounded. The world is crazy. Huh, Chubai was also stunned. He just wants to ask now, around, dog food, cat food. Does he have a share? When Chubai was still sighing, he only heard Su Menjiao say to Su Tao, this doesn't mean anything, I heard that the program team is going to shoot an advertisement and invite a popular female star. Shoot commercials with Shanjun. A question mark appeared on Su Tao's little head. After a while, I saw Su Menjiao nodded. Next to him, Chubai was dumbfounded. It wouldn't be similar to that Rush syrup commercial, would it? Person, live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 70. With some emotion, Chubai turned around and left. His physique has increased dramatically, and now he only needs to do one thing to exercise. Master the strength of every inch of muscle to ensure that you play 100%, or even 120%, of your strength. And just like that, 3 days passed. In addition to exercising, Chubai was basically inspecting the territory. As the only small oasis in the vicinity, he must always maintain his authority and prevent any invasion. He lay in the shade of a tree on the edge of the territory, and in the distance were scattered vehicles. There seems to be more tourists. That doesn't seem like a good thing. Chubai didn't know why he had this idea. Look, that's Shanjun. It's worth it to finally see each other. It's too big, isn't it? Bigger than a Siberian tiger. A group of tourists held their mobile phones and clicked to take pictures. NV067 I heard that there are tens of thousands of people in the group. At the same time, there was a wave of envy in the live broadcast room. Since the program team opened the tourism project, there has been an endless stream of registrations, and even queues up. And the hottest tiger. Naturally, it is the king of the mountains. Roar. It was at this moment that a hiss caught the attention of tourists. Everyone looked over and saw a fierce tiger rushing towards the vehicle, baring its teeth and claws constantly slapping on the vehicle. Bang bang bang. The vehicle shook and the tourists were shocked. What is this tiger doing? For a while, the security personnel used batons to expel them, but the tiger was still crazy. Under the shade of a tree not far away, Chu Bai suddenly realized. He was inexplicably worried just now. With the tiger attacking vehicle, it only occurred to him what to worry about. This is the world of beasts. It's a world of the jungle. If a mad tiger does attack a human, it is very likely that all tigers, including himself, will be affected. At the same time, the live broadcast room was boiling. The host Lisabel looked at the information and hurriedly said, "Everyone, there is an emergency live broadcast accident. There is news from the program team. Tiger number 35 seems to be out of control, and the filming crew has been bitten to death. Aren't these tigers raised? If something really goes wrong, it won't affect all the tigers, right?" For a while, there was a lot of discussion in the live broadcast room. According to the nature of the reserve, it's a real possibility. If something goes wrong with one tiger, who can guarantee that other tigers will not attack the keeper again? Host Lisabel continued, "The staff of the program team has heard that the breeder of the 35th often abuses the 35th, so that the 35th finally went crazy and bit the keeper to death, and now the program team has contacted the reserve and dispatched emergency security personnel to the place of origin, wishing the tourists good luck." Meanwhile, tiger number 35 has gone mad. Despite the guardrails of the tourist vehicles, the tiger frightened everyone pale. Click. A crisp voice sounded. Number 35 slapped the front window of the vehicle, and the glass cracked. In the next second, number 35 took a shot again. The glass shattered. The driver's scalp is numb. The tiger roared and opened its bloody jaws towards the humans. Something big is going to happen. Not far away, Su Menjiao and the others had a chill on their backs. Since entering the program group, they have been mentally prepared for sudden accidents. But as the crisis came, they were still afraid. "The program team wants us to shoot tigers." Su Menjiao answered the phone, and her face suddenly turned pale. Each crew was staffed with security guards and a pistol, and the team apparently wanted to get them to settle the matter before it escalated. But do firearms really work? Su Menjiao put a question mark in her heart. It's over. It's the end of it. On the vehicle, the tourists were paralyzed in fright, panic all day. Roaring. Read violent novels, go to Philu Novel Network. Suddenly, a roar rang out. The frantic number 35 stopped attacking and turned his head to look at Chu Bai, who was lying in the distance. The roar was tinged with tiger might. The crazy number 35 seems to be a lot calmer. Roaring. Chu Bai roared again. Finally, the frantic number 35 completely calmed down, felt the oppression of a king from the voice, and then turned around and ran. Great, the tiger ran away. The Yamakun saved us. For a while, everyone breathed a sigh of relief for the rest of their lives. It's you. The tiger monarch is the tiger monarch. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens seemed to be relieved. Resolving the matter, Chu Bai returned to the center of the Territory Zero. The next day, in the wee hours of the morning, Chubai just wanted to inspect the territory when a sharp voice came. He turned around and saw that it was a herd of baboons besieging a prairie deer, and one of the baboons grabbed a fawn in his hand and ate it in front of the old deer. The old deer wants to save the fawn, but he is helpless against the baboon. Chubai frowned. There are baboons in his territory. Previously, he considered that baboons are omnivores, and their main food is fruits, seeds, and plants, so he did not expel the baboons. Now he remembers. Baboons also eat small animals. This is beyond Chubai's bottom line. As the Tiger King, the sole king of this territory, he has the dominion over all animals. Roar! Chubai roared, and the baboons scattered and fled. They jumped up the trees one after another, grinning at Chubai. He was not afraid of Chubai. Aside from hyenas, baboons are the most annoying animals. Honestly, I hate baboons the most. Baboons often steal the young of other animals and eat their young in front of other animals. For a while, the live broadcast room was full of righteous indignation. Meanwhile, Chubai was still thinking. Think about what you know about baboons. Now he remembered that baboons would often steal the young of some animals, and even lions would suffer. Case. Chubai was ready to expel the baboon 1.7. Although he hunts, he also has to ensure the ecological balance of his territory. No doubt. Baboons have affected the balance. As the Tiger King, he does not allow carnivores to enter the territory. This also leads to the loss of natural predators of baboons, which will allow baboons to reproduce on a large scale, and eventually destroy the ecological balance of the territory. Thinking of this, Chubai made a move. He climbed trees and drove numerous baboons out of his territory. After a while, a sharp voice sounded. The baboon didn't seem to be afraid, and was still frantically testing the edge of the territory. Roar! Chubai pounced out like a thunderbolt, and slapped the leading baboon 5 or 6 meters away, killing him on the spot. In the next second, the baboon scattered and fled. The old deer was also trembling, but when it found that the beast had not attacked it, it quickly disappeared with the cub's carcass in its mouth.